Having poor workouts more often than you should is the biggest reason you're not making as much muscle and strength gains as you should. And when you consider the tremendous time and energy investment that lifters put towards their workouts, it can be shocking that they don't always get more out of their training. To drive this point home, some quick math will show how much time is invested in these workouts and how important it is to maximize every training session. Let's say a workout on average is an hour and 15 minutes, which we'll quantify as 1.25. Assuming you train in a commercial gym, let's say it takes roughly 30 minutes to get from your home to the gym floor performing your first set. Now let's add another 30 minutes from the time you finish your final set to the time you've showered, changed, and are at home relaxing. Multiply that by 4 workouts per week, and we're looking at 36 hours per week. In most places globally, 36 hours is almost a whole work week. If you're a professional or plan to be one in the future, let's say you make around $1,000 each week. Are you ready to invest $1,000 a month into workouts that suck? Well, that's what's happening to many lifters who work out 4 days per week and aren't getting the results they're after. And that's why this video topic is so crucial. So let's get into the 7 reasons your workouts suck and how to fix them now. Number 1, you're exercising instead of training. Unfortunately, many lifters' workouts suck because they don't know the difference between general exercise and focused training. Training means your training sessions push you towards a specific outcome, whether that's larger muscles or lifting heavier weight. On the other hand, general exercise means performing resistance training or getting your heart rate up for at least 30 minutes per day. This is in line with the World Health Organization guidelines for physical activity. You may feel you're going way harder than this, but you may be falling short without even knowing it. Here are a few things you need to have in place to know you're training and making real progress. Number 1, you need to have specific goals, preferably written down or recorded somewhere. Number 2, you need to have a structured program that aligns with these goals. Number 3, you need to track your progress regularly. Number 4, you need to make sure your training intensity is at least at an 8 out of 10 for the majority of your training. If you can have these 4 things checked off, you're on the right track with your training, and your training sessions will be fruitful. For example, it's hard to slack off when the numbers on paper need to look better over time. This will inevitably force you to train harder and more consistently. But this needs to be done with balance, which brings us to point number 2. Number 2, you're training too hard, too often. We mentioned having a structured program that focuses on consistently training hard in the previous point, but your program also needs to be balanced with recovery periods. One of the biggest reasons lifters hit plateaus and burn out is not knowing when to take the foot off the gas. This can lead to several things, including injuries, lack of progress, and lack of motivation to train diligently. Here's a few ways to implement recovery periods into your training to keep your gains coming. Number 1, easier workouts that are performed further from failure, such as 3 to 4 reps in reserve. Number 2, deload weeks, where every session that week is done with lighter loads and fewer reps. Number 3, time off training completely can be a few extra days off or an entire week or 2. Time off training for recovery is more common amongst high-level lifters than most gym goers realize. Number 4, active recovery periods only involve doing light cardio and dynamic stretching for several days or an entire week. These approaches will help you recover and make progress in the following sessions possible. Number 3, you're not consuming enough calories. Unless you're crystal clear on your goals and how your diet aligns with them, this is tricky. Here's why. Many of you have likely heard the term recomp, short for body recomposition, which essentially means losing fat and building muscle simultaneously. While this is possible, many lifters, especially those who want to push the weight loss, are far too aggressive with this method without understanding the trade-offs. The first major trade-off is that your energy to train will suffer. By definition, a calorie is a measure of energy. Therefore, your performance will diminish if you reduce your calorie intake drastically. This considerable calorie reduction often includes reduced carbohydrates, which will affect your glycogen levels. But is this entirely a bad thing? And how can we offset some of these effects? If your primary focus is aggressive fat loss, you must embrace the lower energy levels. This happens at all levels of assertive weight loss, including getting shredded for a bodybuilding competition. This is done with dedicated training and establishing a calorie deficit by consuming fewer calories or performing more physical activity. On the other hand, if you're okay with taking a more moderate approach, it's time to increase your calorie intake and be more patient with your weight loss. In either case, one way to offset the effects of dieting on your training is to introduce refeed days, also known as non-dieting days. Another term often used is carb-up days. Instead of hitting your weight loss calorie target, hit your maintenance calories with a calorie increase from carbs. This will help replenish glycogen levels as well as your overall energy. Now let's rapid fire through the following 4 points in supporting scientific research. Number 4 is poor sleep. This 2018 systematic review found that consecutive nights of inadequate sleep reduce strength in multi-joint exercises like the squat and bench press. So as you can imagine, having to perform challenging sets of squats when you've had multiple days of poor sleep in a row isn't optimal. If your workouts haven't been the greatest, check that your sleep quality and quantity are on point. Number 5 is stress. In this 2008 study, low-stress participants experienced a significantly greater increase in their bench press and squat than their high-stress counterparts. In other words, stress can hurt your performance and negatively impact your gains. So be sure to find ways to minimize and manage your stress. Number 6 is dehydration. This 2021 study suggests that previous night hydration may negatively impact bench press, 1-rep max performance, and perceptual feelings of recovery. Ultimately, if you keep a water bottle container nearby and make it a habit to drink from it often, you will intuitively stay hydrated. We highly suggest making this a daily habit. Number 7 is poor concentration. Weight training and executing lifts with superb form is a skill that needs to be treated. A significant part of your workout is your training sets. So if you execute your sets with poor concentration, your form and effort will suffer. Be sure to clear your mind and get focused on each set, and you will have an incredible workout. To summarize what we've covered, if you have a dedicated training mindset, train with the right intensity, consume the right amount of calories for your goals, sleep well, stay hydrated, and focus during each training session, the likelihood of having a workout that sucks will be next to none, and you will make a ton of progress. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up as it'll truly help out the channel. Are you looking for a complete, done-for-you training and nutrition guide guaranteed to add slabs of muscle to your frame in the next 90 days? Claim your free copy of our book, Bulk Up Fast. The book has already been paid for. All you have to do is cover the small shipping fee. Just click the link in the description, tell us where to ship it, and we'll send it to you anywhere in the world. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.